Last time on Behind the Machine. After starting the season with a top 5 finish, Marvin Musquin suffered a devastating crash during the first moto at Freestone, breaking his thumb and 3 bones in his hand, putting him out indefinitely.
In no way, shape, or form did he do anything to be part of that. Luck jumped out and just took him down.
He's out now, and it's going to take a couple weeks to get better again.
This is a guy who's one of the most talented motorcycle riders in the world.
At Texas, Andrew Short and the team rebounded from their struggles at Hangtown.
We got something to build off now.
And with the return of Mike Alessi this episode, it is time for both KTM riders to take a shot at the podium.
The goal is the same for everybody until the end of the season. Get a whole shot, check out, win motos.
It's going to be Mike Alessi with the whole shot!
In preparation for a run at the championship in 2012, the focus at KTM has shifted from the development of the rider-friendly 350 to the creation of a highly competitive 450, not only capable of winning races, but also inspiring the confidence of a championship-caliber rider.
What we did with the 350s, we built an absolutely perfect bike for the masses, but when it came down to rider confidence, we didn't really focus on what needs to be behind the rider to make them have a completely confident frame of mind when they're on the starting line. Professional racer level, you can't have any doubts.
We are working on a complete new bike. I'm also negotiating with the Dungey camp to have him come here. If we cannot get at least 200 bikes built, this new bike, by March 1, I cannot get them homologated. If I was not sure that we can get this bike done and homologated, I could not, in a good conscience, contract him. Because if he comes this way, it's based on a lot of trust.
KTM is sparing no expense in pursuing a Premier Class championship. Both Andrew Short and Mike Alessi are racing in a contract year with the team. Unless they prove they are capable of racing with the best, they will be released. After his severe crash at round 1, Mike Alessi's 2011 season got underway at round 3, and he hole-shotted 2 of the first 4 motos he raced.
Mike Alessi, the 800, taking over the early lead.
He dropped back to 4th, but still a real solid race. On his first race back after that big crash was awesome.
It's going to be Mike Alessi with the whole shot!
As the season progressed, it became clear that Alessi could not match the speed and stamina of Ryan Dungey, Chad Reed, and Ryan Villopoto.
And here comes Ryan Villopoto, he got him! Mike Alessi looked to the left and Dungey passed him on the right.
If you look at the overall field, there's clearly about 4 guys right now outdoors that are running a pace that's different from everybody else.
Certain races, the gap is pretty big towards the top 3. You've got to just be realistic and just take it small steps at a time. The goal now is to get on the podium.
In Moto2 at Redbud, Alessi sustained a 3rd-place ride over Chad Reed for 8 laps, and was 1 position away from an overall podium finish at Millville. But his breakthrough ride never came.
A lot has to do with confidence. I think Hangtown knocked him back a bit confidence-wise and just spooked him a little bit.
It's one of the saddest things I can think of in our racing history to see him try so hard in the amount of effort he puts into it and not really be able to be successful with our company. When a team and a rider are not getting the results, it's probably best for everybody to just set each other aside and go, look, we're going to try something different.
Alessi's teammate Andrew Short had his worst season in years. A 5th-place overall finish at Thunder Valley would be his best weekend of the year. Also, an injury during a bike testing session would force Shorty to miss the final 3 rounds of the season.
In one word to sum up this year, it's just frustrating. It never really panned out how I hoped, and probably my least successful one since 2004.
Andrew didn't do as good as I expected he would do, but he had some family issues with his little boy. I'm sure that played a big role in his having a clear mind to race him. And our bike is not the top bike yet in that class.
We're obviously the developing brand in Supercross and motocross, and it's the easiest to look at us and say, well, it's KTM, but the staff of our company, nobody is looking at anything other than wins and championships. That's it. Everything else is just clutter on the side.
At the highest level of racing, the fate of a rider and his team is linked together. But because riders must spend nearly all their time training, and technicians must spend all their time refining their machines, accountability is often impossible. Finding a partner you can trust is everything. Ryan Dungey has won 4 championships in his career. All of them were under Roger Decoster.
Knowing that Roger was behind it, that was helpful for me coming over here, because I know if Roger's going to do something, he's going to do it right.
He's not the guy that you need to remind to go training. He's more the one asking questions. Hey, what can I do? You know, I want to get better.
You look at a photograph of that guy, anywhere on a motocross track, he is always focused. He has a sheer look of determination.
Having him on the team has lifted everyone else's game too. You know, everyone just wants to give the best that they can and show them what a good team we are and what good bikes we got.
I know Roger and the team and Ryan, they all have one goal, and it's to win.
Next time on Behind the Machine, KTM has assembled a championship caliber team, motorcycle, and rider. Their 3-year effort has become a wave of expectations for the 2012 Supercross and Motocross seasons.
I felt from the beginning that it was possible to win the first year, but we were not sure.
Here comes Stewart. Stewart goes by Dungey.